What's the real cost to letting these children stay? We speak to one El Pasoan who's lived through the experience of coming to this country alone, and she says the price she paid to be here is far more than dollars and cents. Her story is our special report, The Price of Freedom.
Okay. I haven't talked about this in a long time.
Not even 50 years of time has fully healed her heart, and this photo helps her remember her father the way she saw him last when she came to the U.S. alone at the tender age of 11.
When we came from Cuba, we were an exodus of over 14,000 children. At that time, we were the largest ever.
It was a planned CIA operation called Operación Pedro Pan, or Peter Pan. It sought to give refuge to Cuban children in the midst of Fidel Castro's takeover.
We had a neighbor where the militia came in and they shot him on the door.
But for Francis, the U.S. was no Neverland.
I was a child Monday night, and on Tuesday, by 11:30, I was an adult.
The day Francis left Cuba was the last day she saw her father.
I remember him eating and tears just falling on the plate, you know? And I was thinking, I'm not sure that this is a good idea.
She and her mother were going to fly to the U.S. on a 30-day visa, then claim political asylum. But at the airport,
they told my mother, there is a problem with your visa, but we recommend that you let her go.
And once in Miami,
everybody was receiving everybody, but there was nobody there for me. A social worker came to pick me up and took me to the refugee camp.
And that is where Francis was raised until she was 16 years old.
I was in a house where we had around 45 kids. They were just people that were placed in there to make sure that all these rules were followed. But there was no interaction. When I cried, there was nobody there. And you simply say, okay, I'm not gonna cry. And these things mold who you are.
That's why today, when Francis turns on the TV and sees this.
When we see these children, we see the faces of our own children. We see the faces of our own nieces and nephews. We see the faces of our community.
Nothing is going to improve until the plane loads of children return to the country that they left.
We have children now! The protests and pundits, the camps and the cots, where thousands of Central American children will call home for now, her heart hurts.
I can relate to each one of them. They're leaving everything for a place that they don't know.
And a place, she says, that may not meet their biggest need.
I was never hungry while I was in the refugee camp. I never needed medical care that I didn't have. But there was nobody. So the children that are here by themselves, who's going to love these children? Who's going to stick by these children? Right now, we are loving on them. They need to be loved through.
Would you have rather the U.S. sent you back to Cuba?
Yes. At that time, yes. Yes.
Even though it was violent, even though there was a chance of you seeing more of the...
Yeah. And I love this country. And I would do anything and put this country first. But at what price? Your favor to me of giving me a place here cost me also.
But this is what Gonzalez has gained.
It's my children, my grandchildren, you know. To me, that's a great achievement.
Finally, a family defined. Her childhood taken, yes, but a life full of happier memories in return.
I have my family.
And Gonzalez says she hopes lawmakers hear her story before they try to solve this crisis. And again, with Congress recessing next week, the answer may be delayed until the fall. Kagan?
All right, great.